Hello and welcome back to another video, bit of a different video. We're doing a more Saturday roundup, but I'm mainly talking about a couple games and games I've watched today. Now today we're going to be talking about Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 2, Newcastle 4, Tottenham 0, and Wolves 2, Nottingham Forest 2, the other way around. But make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe. We are nearly on 250. So close to 250 subscribers, so if you guys can make that happen, that'll be great. And also, 500 subscribers is the end of year goal. Now, first talking about, we'll get the Nottingham Forest Wolves game out of the way first, but the reason why I'm talking about this game is because I watched it. I didn't watch the other 3 o'clock games, I watched this game, and I always like watching this fixture. The reason why I like watching this fixture is ever since that Carabao Cup game when they were all giving it to each other, in terms of the celebrations and the penalty shootouts. I've always wanted to watch the fixture and see if there's any more stuff that could happen. And ever since I've watched that game, last year at the City Ground, I'm pretty sure it was a draw. I'm pretty sure it was like 1-1 or something. It was a 6-pointer at the time. And as a West Ham fan, as we were in a relegation battle last season, with both of those teams, I'm pretty sure I was rooting for a draw. And I'm pretty sure it was a draw. And there was a whole Daniel Podence, I think it was versus Brendan Johnson, where there was alleged spitting happening in that game, but whether they spat at each other. And obviously this feud has mainly been put in the air because of the whole Morgan Gibbs-White transfer from Nottingham Forest, from Wolves to Nottingham Forest. The fixture earlier this season at Molineux, I think, was also a draw. A draw seems to be the theme of this fixture. I think it was like 1-1 or something in the game at Molineux. It was very horrible watching Steve Cooper's football this season. As much as I rate him for what he's done for the club, for Nottingham Forest, I personally think it was probably right to sack him. I think I would have said they should have gone after Lopetegui instead of Nuno, but to be fair, Nuno has given him a lift since he come on, so he's proven me wrong. I thought he was a bit washed up, but he's gotten the best out of, especially the attacking side of Nottingham Forest. And going into this game, obviously Wolves battling for Europe. They've got a lot of injuries. Forest, you never know what Forest's best team are because of the amount of players they actually have. But I think they just wanted more points just because of the points deduction that they actually got. And what a game it was in the end, because in between some of the goals, especially in the first half, there was a lot of the theme was pretty much Wolves trying to hit Forest at the counter, and Wolves and Forest having a lot of the ball, but passing it sideways a lot. But in the end, 2-2 was fair. 2-2 was probably fair, and the defending for Cunha goal from Omar Babadeli wasn't good, but Cunha, that was a good goal. I think the keeper for Forest, the sales guy, should catch that. I wonder if Nottingham Forest are frustrated with the fact that they've signed 3 keepers and none of them can catch a ball. And from what I've seen, the sales guys have done terrible since he's come in from January, because that Vlad guy and the Matt Turner dude, neither of them can pass a ball or catch a ball. So what's the point of them? But Wolves probably, I think, I want to say Forest edged Wolves slightly more in the attacks and what they did with the ball. But Wolves, with context, do have a lot of injuries. But I think a draw was fair in the end, but I would have said Forest maybe slightly edged it. I don't know what Origi was doing at the end. I think the pass was very overhit. He has no confidence in himself to go for that himself. I think a lot of Forest fans might be a bit frustrated with Origi. I like Origi, but I can understand the frustrations, of course. But a draw was fair in the end. Going on to Tottenham Newcastle. Tottenham. Newcastle beat Tottenham 4-0, and as a West Ham fan, I don't really want Newcastle to win, but I never want Tottenham to win. So a draw for me would have been alright, but Newcastle battered Tottenham again at the St James's Park. I wasn't expecting Newcastle to batter Tottenham. I was expecting more of a draw, but I was also not expecting a 4-0 loss for Tottenham Hotspur. Apart from the Timo Werner missed chance, I didn't really see much from Tottenham this game. I saw mainly Newcastle having a game plan off the ball that stifled Tottenham. Elliot Anderson was sometimes in centre mid, sometimes just covering the wing back position. Sometimes it was a five, and I think his job was pretty much to follow Pedro Porro almost. Sometimes he was following him on the inside, and sometimes when Porro would go out wide to help out Brennan Johnson, he would be there covering Dan Burn, who was always going to need help with Brennan Johnson because of Dan Burn's lack of mobility, lack of pace, and sometimes Dan Burn can get the better of wingers that are fast, and I'm sure he's used to it by now. But Brennan Johnson can show glimpses of hope for Tottenham with just a bit more directness. Timo Werner's not a good footballer. Timo Werner's not a good player. Timo Werner's also going to sign for Tottenham Hotspur on a permanent deal. Now, if Andris Postecoglou's long-term hopes is Timo Werner, it is challenging for a league title, then Timo Werner's definitely not the answer. But it looks quite likely that they'll trigger it just because it's a cheap deal and they'll need it for numbers. But surely that means Tottenham are also going to invest in an attacker that maybe might start on the left, because surely Werner cannot be your starting winger. Obviously, Son's probably better up front, and Son got nothing all game for an attacking team. They did not deliver anything to Son. I didn't see anything really of Maddison. I didn't see anything really of Bentancur. I didn't see anything of Basuma, really. I didn't think Basuma had a great game either. Van der Ven had a horrid time. Now, he did slip for one of them. I don't blame him for the first one, but I think it was the second one straight away where I'm like, you jumped in way too early. I can't blame a defender for slipping like that, but what I can do is, especially for the second goal, like, what are you doing? You jumped in way too late. No, way too early, sorry. He was already on the floor, and I'm pretty sure it was Gordon for the second goal. Gordon slotted it in, and Harvey Barnes, Isak, and Gordon were very quick, very direct on a counter, and just chaotic. And I think that's what Newcastle probably have needed, that front three for the whole season. Obviously, Barnes had a long-term injury. Isak has had an on and off injury sort of situation within the season, and Anthony Gordon showing form on the right side as well as he usually shows form on the left-hand side. So he's done quite well under Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe's got the best out of him, and Eddie Howe's good at getting the best out of certain players and getting more out of players than he can. But there has been question marks over whether he can carry on and carry Newcastle to, the same level. And he probably can't, but I do like the way he gets the best out of players in terms of his man management and stuff like that. But it's yet to be seen whether Newcastle will trust him with a higher caliber of play. If they sign more players like Isak and Gimaresh. If they don't, they probably won't be able to hang on to them. But at the same time, they'll probably charge quite high prices for Gimaresh and Isak. I don't think either of them are going to leave anytime soon. But then again, I don't know what Newcastle's FFP situation will look like at the start of this summer. Going on to the Manchester United game. Manchester United drew to Bournemouth 2-2, and Man United got lucky. But Bournemouth, despite it not being a penalty, in my opinion, for the Man United second goal, Bruno Fernandes, the Bruno Fernandes penalty, I do also think that on their own accord, Bournemouth kind of did it to yourself, because you pretty much performed really, really well. You performed really, really well, and credit to you, because especially people like, I was about to say Patrick Kluivert, Justin Kluivert, Dominic Solanke, and Milos Kerkez especially. Lloyd Kelly was good as well. I thought Christie and Cook in the middle were good. I didn't see much of Iratara. I thought Smith was alright until he came off. I didn't think their defence has to do much apart from, I didn't think, the defending was quite questionable, I guess, for the first Man United goal, but other than that, I thought Bournemouth played very good. I thought Bournemouth were very good. I thought they outdid Manchester United. And the big problem was that before Bournemouth's second goal, obviously you see the split pass and the space in between Cambola and Dallo. But it was a bit before that goal where Bournemouth were playing out. And a split pass between the lines gives them all that space in midfield. It's just one pass, because Mainu, Fernandes, Rashford, Garnacho and Højlund are so far up there, and Casemiro is just there on his own. So he's been there to be done dirty. Casemiro had a bad performance today. Off the ball, he's been done dirty, but on the ball is the basic stuff that he was lacking in this game, and probably why he's being criticised. But he can't be the only person that's getting criticised. I didn't see anything of Rashford this game. He's choosing his times when he wants to track back or not. Track back at certain times so he can prove, I do track back, guys, but there's times where he's still walking about. Fernandes does the same thing, where he might run 100 miles an hour, then just starts walking. Fernandes, despite his 2 goals, again, this is what he does. Bruno Fernandes will score, get the goals and assists on the stat sheet, But what he won't do is contribute on a 90-minute performance. So that seems to be a trend with a lot of midfielders, especially in the modern day era. Like, I can list quite a few with Souček and McTominay and all these footballers like Conor Gallagher when he was scoring goals, etc. I still don't know what Conor Gallagher does. But overall, it's the same players that are not performing that well for Man United. No, Garnacho was bad and he probably did deserve to come off, but wasn't the only one. Even Mino wasn't that good today. Mino hasn't been that good the past few games, but once you settle into Man United, you're going to become just exactly like the others. That's what I worry about Kobe Mino. I think he's a fantastic talent, but he's going to be put in the dust because of how Man United are structured. Didn't really see much from their fullbacks. I thought Maguire was okay. Thought Maguire was a bit shaky sometimes, and sometimes he put his foot in and did really well. Sometimes Cambola, apart from the free kick at the end that could have been a penalty and the slip, he actually didn't have a bad game at all. So Man United got lucky with their performance overall in general, in my opinion. But this is what Man United do. They somehow still managed to get away with not losing as many games as they probably should, but performing to the utmost lowest level as they can. Now, surely Ten Hag has gone into summer. Surely their new owners, their new director of football, their new sporting director are looking at this and thinking, yeah, we could do with a better manager, a manager that can actually structure a team. And surely the whole structure of the team and the awareness of the positions of the players, the way they're set up, is down to the manager. Because I don't know why the defensive line's so deep, but the attacking line's so high. Like, I don't know what I'm seeing when I'm watching Man United. I feel like I'm watching a Solskjaer team that's slightly better on the ball. And I'm saying slightly better on the ball. They're slightly more risk-taking. All this stuff that Ten Hag says in his press conferences, I don't believe it when it comes to, like, I know how I want to play, etc. I don't think you do. I don't think you know what you're doing. Because you throw all out your original style of play away, but there's no foundations to build on. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like there is anyway. But I don't know where Man United go from here. The Man United have been the same for the past 4 or 5 years. I would say since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, they've looked the same. They've looked like the same team. But just my opinion. Hopefully you guys like this video. Hopefully you guys can smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers. Bit of a different video. I might do this more often. When West Ham are not playing on a Saturday, I'll do this kind of video because I don't usually upload on Saturdays. So I'll try and, be even more consistent as I try to be. But yeah, social media's up in the description if you want to follow me, and the email for the inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.